Hello, community. My name is Melissa,
I'm Kendrick.
And I'm Jason.
and we're just a few people like you that share not only our faith but our eagerness to free our city here in Killeen. Today, we have a special guest that's going to share some extra perspective and ultimately give you some insight on music, the industry, and how that content relates to the mind. So, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Josh, Dallas, Texas, and I'm here to give my opinion, some outlooks on life.
Appreciate you,
Josh.
Josh.
Yeah,
Appreciate you,
appreciate you
man.
coming on.
Yeah.
Josh from Dallas. I say North Dallas, but I think y'all say North Dallas.
North
Oh yeah,
Dallas.
North
we say
Dallas.
North Dallas.
Ah,
So we'll get right to it, man. It's a lot going on in the music industry right now, especially in Dallas, man. Rest in peace, Mo3. I think he just was murdered on the freeway. So our condolences to him, his family. But man, I think first I want to say, what is your advice to like young people, right? Looking up to all of these rappers and everybody that's in the industry, and they turning up with unforeseen circumstances happening to them. Because I guess the life they done to live is either catching up to them or they're not getting out fast enough. You got any advice for young people looking up to rappers, man?
First, I say like that. Don't let what these people say in this music like influence you because a lot of these dudes is doing it for entertainment and they coming up with stories and they good at telling stories and they put it on a beat and people think that they really living this. And then the ones that are really living this or they used to live this, they got out of that lifestyle and like now they just making it into like a story and it's an ongoing story. They not doing this every day. They not out here in the streets shooting and killing and drug dealing and all this every day. They getting them some money and they just living life. Like that's why we like rappers like I respect like Lil Baby. Like everybody know Lil Baby just came home from prison like a year ago and he used to be in the streets hard. But now he not in the streets no more. He got him some money and he just living life. Like he's still talking about the street stuff because he's still telling the ongoing story, but he's not in the streets like that.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
you got the rappers that in the streets still like the ones that's sad to say the ones that passed away like Mo3, King Von, and I forgot the other dude that got killed. But it was like they still in the streets, like they can't let that go. Like they trying to put on an image because they rapping about it and people expect them to like live this image and that's not really what it's about.
do you feel like people romanticize the content that they listen to? You
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
like music has such like a mood changer. Like you listen to music when you're mad, you're sad, you're happy, you're glad, whatever the mood is. And I feel like oftentimes when you listen to that, type of music, or you're rapping or whatever the case may be, or creating, you romanticize over what you're speaking, because ultimately the content that goes in through here is going to project in every other aspect of your life. So how do you feel like, the power of music has evolved to kind of just how we conduct ourselves on a daily?
I really feel like music influences a lot because like I recently was just incarcerated too, and before I got locked up, this dude Chief Keef he wasn't popular. But then like when I got locked up, like I started hearing about him, and then I met so many dudes down there. They was like, man, I'm down here because of Chief Keef. And then I get out and I hear what type of music he influenced, and they call it drill music, like this shoot 'em up
Yeah.
bang bang music. So like I met so many young dudes, like man, I started listening to Chief Keef. I wanted to go catch me a body. So like I really feel like the music influences a lot. And then you got like even when like say you and your girl or your dude like y'all trying to be romantic, y'all gonna put on some slow jams like some Tyree stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
music really like music is your everyday life. Like it influences everything.
Yeah. I know for me, growing up, you know, being from the gang lifestyle that I was in, you know, and I was out of Tennessee, so I listened to 3 6 Mafia. Highly, even Georgia boys like Pastor Troy. dudes like that. So that would always get me hyped. Yeah, like trying to catch a body and stuff like that. But what I've noticed also is that a lot of the killings that we see within the music industry is not necessarily people that, you know, it's not East Coast versus West Coast. It's dudes out of the same area, the same city. You know, it's people that hate on each other within the same, you know, block, you know, a couple blocks away from each other. And so how, you know, what would you say would be a good way for us to move past that as musicians and be more unified instead of saying, you know what, I'm gonna hate this dude for his neighborhood. I'm gonna celebrate him for getting his bread. I'm gonna celebrate him for what he's speaking into the community, what, you know, the positive things. And so how, you know, you coming out of that industry and you coming out of, you know, you say you just did prison and stuff like that. So what would be your suggestion to help unify the music industry rather than tear each other apart from same neighborhoods?
First, like it's really like as sad as it is, like it's really a black mindset. Like the black people is really the cause of all this because we so much trying to outdo the next person instead of realizing like if we come together, we can make like we can like take over a lot of stuff. But like people mindset ain't like that. So like I don't think until the like the black community realize like we killing each other. They talking about Black Lives Matter, but we got to stop killing each other. It's not just the cops because the cops have been killing everybody, and everybody has been getting killed by the cops. Like it's not just the cops just targeting black people. No, black people are getting targeted because they're targeting themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like until
Mm,
until we realize, like open our mindset up, like okay, oh, so I'm from North Dallas, and like say, well, right now Dallas, North Dallas, and Oak Cliff supposedly beefing. If somebody from Oak Cliff coming up, I'm gonna be like, yeah, okay, yeah, we gonna support him. But people can't
yeah,
do that because their mindset so stuck on I gotta put on for my hood, I gotta make a name. Like it's just not gonna happen
yeah,
right now.
That's a good point, and I feel like just looking objectively, right? You have a demographic that was marginalized for so long, and you have a mindset. You're conditioned to be ambitious, and ambition can be a good thing, and it can also be a bad thing, because ambition out of spite creates strife. And so I think that that's a big issue in the music industry, in the way we live on a day to day, because you have this conditioning for so long that you got to be ambitious, but ambitious makes you vicious. And so, I feel like, when you listen to these types of music and you live this type of lifestyle, it often holds you back because you get stuck. When you do ugly, you get ugly. And so, how do you feel that, with you having your experiences, incarceration, and, being in music, how do you feel that, you as an individual can move past all of that? How did you get out of that mindset?
That's crazy because I was just thinking about this before like we got on. But like, okay, when I first got locked up, when I was in the county jail, my mindset was, damn, I just want to go home.
yeah,
But then I started realizing like I might not like it, and when you go to prison, you wear all white. So my mindset was like, man, I might not ever get to wear colored clothes anymore, or it might be a long time from right now that I get to wear like a black shirt. So I was
yeah,
like, man, I gotta get my mind right. So I luckily I got convicted of first degree murder. I ended up getting 10 years. Uh, I ended up in Texas. You got to do half of your sentence. So 5 years. I was like, yeah, man, I'm ready to go home. But in my mind, I was ready to go home, but I guess in my heart, I wasn't ready to go home because I ended up getting a year set off. So I tried to better myself a little bit more. At the 6 year mark, I ended up getting another year set off. I was like, damn, man, like, what am I doing wrong? So I just like I had to get my mind right. Like I just sit back, like I started realizing, I started setting goals, like what I'm gonna do when I get out. What I want to do while I'm still in here, and I took some classes. Like worked on some trades, and then at the 7 year mark, I was lucky enough to make parole. So all the goals that I set, like I kept telling myself, well, not telling myself, but I kept saying like, if I get out of here, I'm gonna do the right thing and I'm not going back to the street. So when I got out, Like I've been home like a little bit over a year. Like I haven't went back to the streets. Like I ain't. I drove through my hood, but it was just because they got a good restaurant I wanted to go to. But I haven't.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Yes,
yeah,
Food will
yeah,
drive you. Food will drive you places.
Man.
yes. Like I haven't been to the hood. None of that. Like I still know some partners that's from there. I haven't like we haven't chilled. None of that. Like I got all the way out that lifestyle and just like I moved to a whole other city, got a good job. You know, I just got a new car. Like I'm just, you know,
That's
I'm trying to,
good.
I'm trying to better myself and get. Cause I look at my little brother and my little brother like he's accomplished so much at a young age, and I'm like, damn, if I would have been on the right path, then I could have accomplished what he got times more. But I wanted to be in the streets.
So that makes me
mm,
think, because how much do you think music actually influences a person? Like, so I know I'm from Georgia, and coming out, there was groups like, let's say, like Outkast, and at the time, Andre 3000 was on some like different pop
out of
type,
world
you
stuff.
know what I'm saying, music, and I feel like he the GOAT. That's a different conversation. But I was still gravitating more to like Jeezy because I was already around that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But how do you feel like a person's like music choice shapes their thinking, especially if they already from that environment? Or do
yeah,
you feel like people who are already in that lifestyle can even receive positive music from somebody like Toby Nwigwe, who's spitting straight fire, but it's all like uplifting, positive, right?
yeah,
Um, so what's your thoughts on that?
I really like. I think it just depends on like what you want out of life.
Mm,
If you want to be in the streets, you're gonna listen to Jeezy. You're gonna listen to Kodak Black, NBA YoungBoy, Mo3 them. But if you want to be like, man, I'm trying to get myself together, you're gonna listen to probably Drake or J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. You know, people like
mm,
that.
yeah.
It's a
That's
challenging of
good.
a mind, you know? You have to
Yeah,
challenge your mind outside of what you know. And, sometimes it's easy to fall back into kind of just like what you're familiar with. If you're
facts.
familiar with that life, of course, it's easy to fall back into it because it's what you know, it's safe. But sometimes you got to get beyond yourself and move forward and move past all of that because, Josh, you are a testament because not that many people are in that position to say, you know what, I changed my mind, so I changed my life. So congratulations to you, man, because not
Yeah,
many people
facts.
are able
yeah.
to sit there and say, I did this and I did it the right way and I did it the G way, and I respect that. And
I
I
mean,
don't take that
it's
loosely.
yeah, and I think also what keeps people in that realm is a level of expectation. It's like, okay, so if you from this hood, even if you got locked up, even if you did rehabilitation, all that stuff, and you came back out, you still got to rep that hood. You still got to go back to it because it seems like with the music culture, they want to keep you at a level that that they want you to share your experience and that experience only and not what happens after that experience. And so they want to keep you at that level. Like, we only want to hear about the drugs, we only want to hear about the killings, we only want to hear about the violence. Yet it's keeping them from making music that transcends past that, in order to say, you know what, yes, I came from here, but I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to go here. And I think that's what you're doing, because you removed yourself from that environment. And so you're saying, I'm not going to keep myself there anymore. They expect me to, but I'm going to prove them wrong, and I'm going to go past that, and how would you, I guess, how would you, if you was your younger self, right? Like back, let's say you were 15, 16, what advice, I know we got youth out there now, but what would you tell yourself now, from the experiences that you've already experienced?
What would I tell my 15-year-old self?
Yes.
Don't get in any gangs. Don't do any drugs. Put the pistols down. And just like stop trying to don't do not try to make a name for yourself in the hood because once you dead or locked up, like the hood ain't gonna do nothing for you. They say free such and such or
Right.
RP such and such. But like after well, after 30 days, like you were nobody. Like they
That's
gonna put you
true.
on the shirt. They gonna put you on the shirt. Probably you gonna be on the shirt. Yeah, the first week they gonna wear the little shirt. Probably take some pictures, but they only gonna wear their shirt one time. Then they gonna put that shirt in the closet, the back of the closet, and you're not gonna
Yeah.
see that shirt no more. And when you get locked up, they gonna free Josh, but you ain't gonna get no mail. They ain't gonna send you no money. They ain't gonna make sure your paying
Wow.
straight. That's not
Hmm.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
How did
It's
so
reality.
I have a question, Josh. So when you were incarcerated, how did you maneuver through that initial shock of being in jail and incarcerated and knowing that like you was about this life and then somehow it shifted upside down and then you lost the connections of the people that you were running with, the people that you essentially were like with, and they didn't reach out, they didn't, they didn't look out for you like you were gonna look out for them if tables were turned, because I'm sure just hearing you looks like you would look out for them if tables would have been turned.
Oh yeah, like definitely, like it's really crazy because like I just knew like I ain't gonna lie, I'm not here to brag or boast, but like I got a name back in my hood. So when I got locked up and a lot of them didn't hit me up or make sure I was straight, I was like that's crazy. But like right now, even when I got out, like when I first got out, I didn't even have that much, but I had some dudes down there that was loyal. Like it was nice. It was nice down there. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no food, but it was some dudes that kept it real with me. Like here, bro, here, so you don't go to bed hungry. So when I got out, I got me a little money. I made sure I send some money back to them. Here, bro, get you some food, get
Wow.
you some stuff so you can write your people. Even today, like even what yesterday, one of my little partners that I was down there with, he ended up getting out. He got locked back up. I sent him some money. Like, here, bro, I know you kept it real with me. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Yeah. So
Yeah. You
we
motivation. You motivation because you're doing right.
we spoke on like Mo3 and King Von and them earlier, and I think just from looking here before we wrap up that the climate of hip hop right now and the culture because of that seems to be real revengeful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems to be like some get back going. So
Retaliation. Yep.
yes. So man, what would you tell somebody from the outside looking in, or even from the inside plotting? You know what I mean? For some get back in these situations. I don't want to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
too far about it, but what would be
On
your
the
advice, man? Because I think this is very important.
on the King Von situation, I can't speak on that because I don't really know them. But Mo3, we did go to school together, and I did see him around the hood, and I know that's not over. Like they killed him, and that's just gonna escalate it. Like I've been hearing around that they're gonna get God. I ain't gonna say no names, but they finna retaliate.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
it's like I just wish like it could just stop. Like okay, like me, I'd be like, man, y'all won. You know what I'm saying? Y'all won. Like it's over. Like, but people don't see it that way. They gotta
Yeah,
retaliate.
they take it as a loss, and not
Yeah,
everything is a
Yeah.
loss. I think
Yeah.
we're conditioned to think about winning and losing. Like, nah, like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, my mom always told me, you got to bring your bag to win and your bag to lose. At the end of the day, like, one is always going to outweigh the other. And you just got to be prepared to carry it and make sure you're ready to switch it. And so that's
Yeah.
the same thing with life. You can make a million and one wrong decisions, but it just takes that one right decision to put you on your right track. And so, Josh, like, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. I appreciate you being vulnerable and transparent. Like, you know, for real, that's real deep, and I respect
Yeah.
you. So
thank
overall,
you.
thank you guys for watching us. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for freeing your mind so you can go out and free your city. Be safe, be blessed. Follow us on Instagram, follow us
Yep.
on YouTube, follow us on
Yep.
Facebook, and tell a friend to
Yes.
tell a friend that we're gonna be friends.
Yep.
Bye.
Catch y'all next time.
All right.
Uh,